Have you heard the legend of the Coffin Princess? A royal line that burned bright and ended in a heartbeat. They say every year on July 7th, near her ancient tomb, a ghost in a crimson dress appears. People call her the Thigh Lady, but here is the catch. Her face, hideous, deformed, not a soul dares to get close. She just wanders the tomb while our protagonist keeps watch. He claims the anniversary of her death is when her power peaks. So on July 7th, the beggar clan leader takes us inside. He is guiding the way straight to the princess's cemetery. He promises the most insane live stream in history. We are all going to witness this together. Is the princess real? Or is this just a massive scam? We are about to uncover every secret in this broadcast. A chubby producer stares at his screen. Dude, Fang. We just dropped a teaser and it is already going viral. The promotion alone hit 1 million views. This is huge. We are looking at a goldmine here. Fang grins, absolutely loving the chubby guy's hustle. That is my director. He says total professional. The director smiles back, but internally he is panicking. He hates this location, but then he remembers the payout. Money makes it all worth it, right? The crew is nervous, dragging their feet through the woods. They have a bad feeling about this remote forest. A runner sprints up, breathless. The lead actress is bailing. She thinks the spot is too isolated. She is going to be late. The director loses it. Tell her to get here now. This is a simple shoot. We cannot miss the launch. The sweating runner nods and scrambles away. The director turns to the crew. We go live at 11:30. It is past 7 already. Move it, you idiots. Fang watches, impressed by the high-stakes intensity. He dropped $1,000 on this, but the profit potential? It is massive. Then the director drops the bomb about the actress. Fang sinks into his chair, his excitement deflating. We haven't even started and things are already falling apart. The producer tells him to chill. She will show up eventually. Time creeps by. It is almost 11 o'clock, and still, there is absolutely no sign of her. The runner comes back. She has stopped answering her phone. The director snarls, "Tell her we will sue her into oblivion." He points at the runner. "You, put on the dress. You are playing the ghost tonight." The poor kid stands there frozen, totally caught off guard. The director freezes. But right then, he tells the guy that the girl arrived. She is up there on the mountain, and she's actually there. A girl with silver hair appears, and everyone is beyond confused. Not only did she make it, but she brought her own gear. And get this, the clothes she brought are much better. Way better than the ones the crew had originally prepared. The director snaps out of it and orders them to roll the cameras. He tells Fang they're ready, so the guy flips his cap backwards. The cameraman kicks on the lights, and the feed goes live. Fang turns to the lens, ready for the show. Today we are here at the princess's tomb, and you all know the legend. Supernatural events have been popping up all over the world lately. And right here, at this very spot, things get even creepier. People have already spotted the ghost in the red dress 5 times. Fang checks the feed, noting all the messages blowing up the chat. It's going well, even with the usual crowd calling it all a fake. He tells the crew to keep pushing the exploration and heads into the trees. Finally, he arrives right in front of the tomb. He talks about how her soul has been wandering for way too long. They say she appears on July 7th to share her hidden sorrows. One of the cameramen nudges a rock to help him fake a jump scare. Now watch this. He looks up at the mountain peak. Time to get closer to her, just like the script laid out. Spotting the silver-haired girl from afar, he's actually impressed. She's a total pro. He thinks the money for her was well spent. The assistant tries to call the director, desperate to get a word in. But the director just snaps at him to shut his mouth. The live stream is absolutely exploding with over 1 million viewers. They're sitting in the top 10, and he's seeing that 10% payday. The assistant tries again, but the director just cuts him off. "Are you sick of getting a salary?" he barks, turning to the crew. "Hurry up, it is almost midnight, and the clock is ticking. Mr. Fang, it is time to go find that girl on the peak. Just stick to the script and keep the cameras rolling. The assistant tries one last time to get the director to listen. He says the actress he actually hired said she wasn't coming tonight. Suddenly, a massive, freezing gust of wind slams into everyone at once. They all stop cold, staring into the dark, wondering what just happened. Time to go find that actress at the top of the mountain. Just follow the script and make it happen. The boy pushes back again, telling the director the truth. That actress he tracked down, she point-blank refused to come today. Suddenly, a violent gust of wind slams into everyone on set. Everyone freezes, wondering what the hell is happening right now. The boy jumps, panicked, telling everyone she just vanished into thin air. A sharp slap to the head stops him cold. The director snaps back. It is obvious she disappeared. It is. Part of the script, she tells Fang the actress is finally ready, so he just needs to climb the mountain and start. Fang stares up at the peak, telling himself that gust of wind just startled him. He is not afraid. He presses forward, and he asks the live stream, does the princess ghost actually exist? Suddenly, the boy rushes back to warn the director again, repeating the same frantic message. Show me the text from the actress, he says, the one saying. She is not coming. The director pales, her blood running cold. She is not coming. Then who is waiting up there on the mountain? As Fang gets closer, he is completely stunned by her beauty. He stumbles back, playing it up for the drama of the live stream. But deep down, he is thinking something else. This actress is insanely professional. I can hardly believe it. He starts shaking for the camera, shouting out, "Who are you?" The director wants answers too, but one cameraman points to her feet. They realize, with horror, that she is floating. Online, the viewers are going wild, completely blown away by the high production value, while the director begins to wonder if they have hit a real ghost. The legendary princess from the old dynasty, maybe. The boy grabs the director, insisting it makes no sense, because everyone knows ghosts cannot be captured on camera. Another guy wonders out loud if she is actually an alien. Fang is still putting on his theater act. Who are you? Don't you dare come any closer. Still, he is secretly impressed by the quality of her clothes. And that hair, it looks perfect. I really hit the jackpot with this production team. Time to step up my performance. He leaps forward, shouting, I am not afraid of you. I was born under the sun and raised in the spring breeze. A mere ghost does not scare me. He looks over his shoulder and waves while the cameraman thinks he has finally lost it. The ghost lunges forward, hands outstretched. The director has too. Remind him to stay in character for the live stream. But the crew is panicking now, reporting an intense electromagnetic surge. They have completely lost connection to Fang's headset. They urge the director to run and leave that guy behind. A sudden, violent gust of wind whips up, carrying feathers that tear through the ground. The ghost grabs Fang by the throat, and seeing her face, he thinks, wow, she is cute. She is there. The live stream chat is blowing up, people saying even as a ghost, she is perfection. Fang is struggling, totally baffled. How does this woman have this much raw strength? He is literally gasping for air, almost suffocating under her grip. He yells at her to let go, convinced she is actually trying to end him right here. I cannot breathe. He manages to choke out. The crew below is terrified, screaming at the director to find some way to fix this. They are all shouting about being too young to die, but the director is just as clueless. Fang is on the brink of passing out, nearly crossing over to the next life. But then, the sheer power of capitalism kicks in. It keeps him anchored when he realizes the stakes. Do you have any idea how much money I poured into this production? This stream is too important to ruin. She just needs to stick to the script. He grabs her arm, desperately demanding she release him. Suddenly, a golden bracelet on his wrist flares with a brilliant light. A fierce aura explodes from his body, and finally, she lets him go. He collapses onto the ground, gasping for life, thinking he was nearly murdered. This ghost nearly killed me, he fumes, and they call themselves professionals. Is this really how they handle a live set? But then reality hits. He is still in the middle of a massive broadcast. He has to salvage the script, no matter what. I have worked way too hard for this to fail now. He turns to her, forcing a dramatic line. I never expected to see you here. Haunting the princess's tomb, of all places. Honestly, I have been single and a virgin my whole life, so why not? Since you want to end me, I am going to do something wild before I go. Listen up, heroes watching this live. This is for you. If I have to die and become a ghost today, let's at least make it romantic. I am going all out, he thinks, and marches straight toward the princess. Princess, he declares, please just give up this millennia-old obsession and marry me instead. The director is blindsided, and the entire live chat is losing their minds. Everyone watching is in total disbelief. Fang the Fool is feeling himself, convinced he just manufactured the perfect scene. The contrast between agonizing pain and sudden romance is peak content. This is the climax of the stream, but does the ghost actually follow his lead? She looks at him, and a natural gust of wind rips through the tomb. Fang is completely lost, wondering what is happening with this actress. Why is she refusing to follow the damn script? She was supposed to turn around and run, not stand there. Instead, she glides closer, moving right toward him and his ring. Why did you come to marry me only now? She asks. He is stunned, standing there frozen, having absolutely no idea how to reply. Then the ghost starts to weep, her voice trembling in the silence. Why did you make me wait so long? Fang starts wondering how these production team guys are even doing this. Just how are they pulling off all these crazy, realistic effects? Now the girl is screaming, why did you leave me all alone? The whole team gets blown back, and the director crashed hard. He slams right into a tree, totally out of control. The girl transforms into a nightmare creature made of shadows. Fang is scrambling to get out of there. Damn it, this cannot be real. I came here to make a name for myself, not to die. I haven't even earned enough cash yet, but the ghost stands there crying. She stares right at him. Why are you leaving me already? Don't you dare abandon me like this again. Fang freezes. Suddenly, he's flooded with these painful, buried memories. His parents leaving him. You'll stay here just a few days, okay? Mom and Dad will be back soon. Your uncles will look after you. But obviously, reality was a nightmare. He was mistreated, beaten every single day by those people. His own uncles sneering at him. Your relatives don't even like you. So get to work, or you're not getting a single bite to eat. In bed, he'd cry and beg for his parents to come back. I'll be obedient, he'd plead. He just didn't want to be abandoned again. Looking at the ghost, he realizes they're exactly the same. He reaches out, rests a hand on her head, and tells her not to cry. Then he takes the ring from the box and slides it onto her finger. He pulls her into a hug. I'm back to marry you. That breaks the curse, but she immediately sends him flying upward. He hits his head hard. Talk about bipolar mood swings. The next morning, he wakes up with the production crew hovering over him. They're panicked, saying they honestly thought he was dead. He asks what happened, where the ghost went. They just trade confused looks. They say a massive gust of wind hit, and everyone just passed out. Everything went black in a heartbeat. Fang tries to recall what happened before they lost consciousness. But the cameraman shakes his head. Unfortunately, they don't remember a thing. With that wind, the camera only caught shots of the dirt. It's all gone. Fang knows he put that ring on her finger, but stays silent. He tells them he doesn't remember a thing either, probably passed out too. The director interrupts, all excited, telling him the good news. He hit 150,000 followers overnight, and the stream made over $30,000. That is a huge payday. Once they drop that footage, his fame is going to skyrocket. Fang is buzzing, telling the director not to forget his cut. He's got his priorities straight, but he knows it's time to head home after that long night in the forest. Our guy finally gets to walk away in one piece. He heads back home, but the place is a total wreck, completely abandoned. Content creator life is no joke. He stumbles inside and cracks open a Coke. He checks his phone, his latest video. It just hit 100,000 views. The comments are blowing up, and he can finally taste it. The sweet, sweet taste of success. But then his mind drifts to that girl. Who was she? He didn't even catch her name. And it's weird. He slept all night, yet he's still dead tired. Utterly exhausted. On top of that, he offered to marry her. He just never expected her to actually follow him home. He wants a long life. After all, he doesn't need all this extra baggage. No room for that kind of resentment in his future. He flops onto the bed, thinking she must have gone back to her grave by now. As he closes his eyes, he's already plotting his next move. He really needs to figure out how to squeeze more cash out of these videos. Just gotta focus on the grind. Night falls, he drifts off, and when he wakes up, he reaches for his phone. But something's wrong. Where is it? He looks up and finds a ghost hovering right over him. He jumps, heart hammering. I'm dreaming, he thinks. It has to be. You know the saying, whatever you think about all day, you dream about at night. Still, this dream is way too vivid. It feels way too much like reality. But dreams are supposed to change if I want them to, right? He squeezes his eyes shut and starts chanting to himself. I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. He opens his eyes, and there she is, still staring right at him. Damn it, she didn't vanish. I must be so wiped out I can't even force myself to wake up. Wait, I remember a trick, a reality check to see if you're actually dreaming. Just push your finger through your hand. If it's a dream, it should pass right through. He tries it, and it stings like hell. The ghost girl tilts her head, asking what he's doing. If this isn't a dream, what is it? He reaches out to touch her. It feels solid, real. He asks her straight out why she's here. Is she actually trying to kill me? She grabs his hand, and for a second, he imagines she's not here for his life. She looks almost cute, whispering that she just came to see him. He's totally lost. He asks why she'd want to see him when they're basically strangers. She looks at him and says it's because he's her husband now. That sends a chill straight down his spine. What is this situation? Does she really believe that? She starts tapping into his powers, her voice dropping. Have you forgotten already? That's when it hits him. Everything that happened last night was real. It was real. And the only thing that mattered now was surviving. He spoke up, told her he hadn't forgotten, and asked for her name. She smiled, bright and sweet, and told him it was Lily. She looked so happy, and he felt relieved just to be alive. He couldn't help it. Why was this ghost so incredibly beautiful? Was he seeing things, or had he just been single way too long? Honestly, it had been way too long. He asked how she even ended up here, miles away from the tomb. This place was at least 10 kilometers from that burial site. Lily just floated toward him, then vanished right into his pendant. Fang was totally lost, wondering where she went, when suddenly, she popped out of his belly, saying she lived inside him now. The poor guy freaked out and accidentally blasted her away. She landed on the ground, looking cute and harmless, with no bad intentions. She really didn't seem like the type to cause any trouble. She tried to stand up, tripped over her long dress, and tumbled down. Fang asked why she didn't change. Those robes were way too long. They looked impossible to walk in, let alone live a life. She agreed, glowing with power, and our hero braced for a transformation. He really thought she was going to shift into something practical. Instead, she tapped into the legendary power of demonization. It was the kind of move that sends any hero spiraling, nosebleed included. He tossed her some spare clothes and told her to get dressed. Why was this ghost so different from the ones in the movies? Was she actually trying to end his 20 years of total purity? He finally turned back around, asking if she was decent yet. She nodded, looking as innocent as a ghost could be. But those buttons, they were fighting for their lives against the pressure. It was an intense struggle, honestly harder than Rock Lee versus Gaara. He almost lost it again, forcing himself to look away. He asked her straight up, was she really staying here with him? Were they actually husband and wife now? Lily beamed, saying she'd follow her husband wherever he chose to go. Whatever he wanted, all he had to do was ask. She was ready to obey his every command. Our hero just stood there, trying to keep his pulse under control. He couldn't start thinking like that about a legendary tomb princess. She was 1,000 years old, for heaven's sake. He told her to follow, thinking that even ghosts could tell lies. If she wanted to obey him, he'd have to test that loyalty. Elaine watched, curious about what kind of test he'd come up with. This was usually stuff for couples, but he dragged her to the bathroom. He stood her right in front of the mirror, looking serious. She wanted to know why they were here, so he laid it out. He told her, "You said I'm your husband, and you'll do exactly what I say, right?" She nods, telling him that is right. Fang then tells her he is going to teach her something important. Something she will have to do every single day. Brushing her teeth if you want to stay here. You have to. Brush your teeth every morning and night. Put the toothpaste right here, just like this. Come here. Let me teach you. This is to keep your mouth clean. She jumps in, mouth wide open, and takes a big bite. But that was Fang's toothbrush, leaving him stunned, wondering if that counts as an indirect kiss. He shows her how to do it properly, all while distracted, caught up in just how beautiful she looks right now. After a moment, he says she did everything perfectly. Just reminds her not to use his brush again. He will buy her one. Lily thanks him, and he pets her. Then our hero asks her a question. Why are you so certain I am your husband? And why are you acting like this toward me? She replies. She does not remember, and honestly has no idea why. But she is sure he is her husband, and she has been waiting for a very long time. Plus, there is something she is searching for, though she cannot quite put her finger on what that is. This makes her sad, and Fang starts piecing it together. Maybe her search has something to do with her memory loss. She looks at that note on her forehead, wondering what it could be. Our guy has no clue either, but it is from a 1,000-year-old ghost. He decides it is safer not to even try to understand that mystery. Standing by the sink, he ponders how they say ghosts who haunt the earth are just waiting to wrap up unfinished business from their past lives. What on earth could she have left behind? But he glances to the side, and she is just there peeking. So he asks her, "Hey, what are you doing?" She simply says she is waiting. He wants to know what for, so he kicks her out of the bathroom, thinking he will find a solution to this later. Because it is still totally possible she is just pretending to be cute, but soon she will show her real, cruel claws. Still, it is pretty cute when she calls me husband. But darn it, I am human and she is a ghost. Things are different. There is no way this works, so I better find a way. To make her leave soon, he opens the door and is startled to see her lying right there next to one of his magazines, full of pictures of fruits like melons and papayas. He tries to grab it away, and she just flies off. He wants to know where she found it, and she says it was under his bed, but she wants to know why no one covers the fruits in this book. Is this something couples do? Does she have to do this too? Frank jumps at the question, scrambling to cover his tracks. He claims he got the book from some random bald guy he ran into at the mall. She opens a page, asking why the girl is praying on her knees like that. Caught off guard, he snatches it back from her hand. He snaps at her, "Stop looking at his stuff without permission." She sits down, acting like it is fine, and Fang starts to speak. Suddenly, she is right in his face again, looking down at him. She insists she just wants to see what is in there. He tells her to knock it off, but Lily claims the pictures look totally different from reality. She says they need to fix this right now and moves closer. But Fang tells her to forget it. Things are not that simple. She fires back. If they are a couple, it should be simple. Easy. But our hero disagrees, pointing out they just met. He tells her to sit so they can talk it out. But internally he is panicking. He doesn't want to lose his first time. Not like this. But he knows if she keeps pushing, he will lose his resolve. He is relieved when she finally sits. He is about to lecture her again when she blurts out, "Got it. The people in the book were not wearing any clothes." She lunges at him, hunting for freedom, leaving Fang completely baffled. He wonders why she pretends to stop, but keeps going as she asks, "Is this good? Will this finally make him want her?" He grabs his shirt, throwing it at her. "Enough of this. Stop trying to copy the crazy stuff you saw in that book. Then, and only then, will I accept you." Lily agrees, and he shifts gears. "Wait, do you not have magic too? Just conjure up some new clothes." She explains she cannot create things from nothing while sniffing his shirt. He snatches it away. "Stop doing that." Fang is deep in thought. Normally, ghosts are invisible and do not show up on cameras. So he turns to her. "Lily, are you actually a ghost?" She looks totally lost, insisting she is not a ghost. Our hero asks what she is, but she just bows her head. She does not have an answer. Fang starts to wonder, is she the reincarnation of some lingering feeling? He needs to make her leave sooner. He keeps pressing, asking, "Do you remember where you got lost?" She says she has no clue. And then she admits she is hungry. Fang is stunned that a ghost even gets hungry, but he tells her to follow him, heading straight for the fridge. He has no idea what ghosts eat, so he grabs the only thing left and hands it to her. Lily hesitantly takes a bite. She hands it back, claims she didn't like it. That wasn't nearly enough. It didn't satisfy her at all. He finds that response weird, not enough to satisfy her. Do ghosts actually need energy like we do? But human food just won't cut it. What kind of energy is she even after? She's not planning on stealing. My energy, right? Suddenly she looks outside, sniffing the air, says she smells delicious food. He steps out to check, but she catches his shoulder, and just like that, she's flying away with him into the night. She takes him for a whirlwind tour of the city. He asks where she's heading, begging her to at least take him back home for his shoes. They touch down in the forest. Turns out she actually brought him all this way just so he could change his shoes. He opens his eyes and sees an abandoned school looming ahead. The name rings a bell. He knows he's heard of this place. It looks completely desolate. He checks his GPS, and yep, he was right. It's that exact spot from the news, famous for being extremely haunted and totally deserted. And the story behind it is bizarre. Some company bought the whole area to build an amusement park. But as soon as they broke ground, a string of accidents hit the site, people died, and the project got scrapped. Fang asks Lily why they're really here. She stares at the ruins, insisting there's delicious food inside. He thinks that's strange, delicious food. She's not actually planning to hunt ghosts or evil spirits, is she? He scrambles behind a tree, telling her to go ahead and feast. But she insists she can't be away from her husband. She starts shoving him toward the entrance. He protests, saying he doesn't need to be pushed. He'll go in. Fine, he's happy to do it. Now, here is the dark history of this school. 10 years ago, a string of students just vanished. A 6th grader named Liangshan went missing. Right inside the building, relatives begged the police for help, but they couldn't find a single trace. Not in the school, not in the mountains. It was as if the girl had simply ceased to exist. A month later, they found her body tucked away inside the school. It was mangled, horrifying everyone. The police sealed off the area. And the autopsy revealed something impossible. She had been dead the entire month. There wasn't a single clue. How the body got there, it just appeared out of thin air. 2 weeks later, the manager tested the building's durability, dangling from a rope. After those incidents, a few more happened and the school was finally abandoned. Our guy stands there recalling the news, praying that nothing strange is lurking while Delhi is just having fun. He suggests they head home, but she gives him a look, a stare that says he must be kidding. Why can I not trust her? He wonders, though he's noticed. She's pretty strong. He opens a door, terrified, while she's already way ahead, dashing off. They walk down the hall until she points and says, "Let's go there, to the 5th floor, to the manager's office." She glides happily along. Our guy is desperate but chases after her. When he arrives, she points and says, "Look, delicious food." But when he blows on it, it is just a cone and there is nothing strange about it. Suddenly, she grabs it, swallows it, and beams. It is delicious. He asks why she ate that, but he notices. The room has gotten much warmer. She explains it was spiritual energy, and that is how she fills her stomach. Our guy is kind of confused. Was that what is evil about this place? Until she says, "I sense more delicious food." He asks where, and she says she does not know, but it is close. Fang agrees, saying he will take her, but then he pauses and thinks, what if I make an adventure video channel about supernatural places? He tells her he had an idea. While they search for her food, he can make money. She is confused, asking, how do you even make money? Fang says, did you not say you can track spiritual energy? She confirms. She can feel the direction. He replies, that is perfect thinking. If I take advantage of this ability of hers, I will be able to capture several supernatural incidents and make a lot of cash. He then hands her his phone, telling her to always keep the camera pointed at him. If the footage turns out well, he will always treat her to something delicious. She is thrilled. He is excited to have a partner who can fly and use magic to help film his videos. Honestly, there is nothing better than that for a supernatural explorer like him. Now it is just record, post, and watch. The money and followers roll in. He tells her, you know the plan, right? First, film, then eat. And he warns her, no matter what happens, she has to keep the camera steady. He kicks off the live stream, saying, what is up, folks? Long time. It is 1 in the morning, and after visiting the princess at the cemetery, I am here again. This time I am at Yuan School, an abandoned place deep in the mountain suburbs. This school was built 40 years ago for the kids from Hine Village. But 10 years back, a girl went missing, and everything went wrong. Since that day, one mysterious accident after another has plagued this area. 3 years ago, the place was demolished, and the townspeople fled for their lives. Are these just coincidences, or is something darker orchestrating all of this? Are there really restless spirits trapped within these broken walls? I am taking you on a tour of this wreck in search of the truth. As you can see, we are standing inside the old administrator office right now. Behind Fang, a comb suddenly starts hovering in the air. Lily is starving and wants to eat, but she holds back. She has to film first. Fang keeps telling the story, pointing out this was the last spot the missing girl was seen. It happened right here, in front of the office where they tested Chinese rope strength. This place is ground zero for so many unsolved, terrifying mysteries. During my exploration, I actually stumbled upon a girl's comb right here on this desk. Fang wonders where that comb went. Then he sees it floating. He assumes it is Lily messing around with her powers. Did I not tell her not to use those abilities to help me? Why is she doing this? Then something icy grabs his hand and he spins around, only to have a hand clamp onto his throat. Another ghost. He is being choked, but he cannot even let out a scream. His body is turning rigid, locked in place by some kind of spectral restraint. He tries to call out for Lily, but from where she stands, she cannot see a thing. She is just waiting, hungry, eager to wrap up the shoot and finally grab a meal. Fang feels his vision darkening, his consciousness slipping away. But suddenly, the bracelet on his wrist flares to life. He manages to grab her wrist, pulling the entity back. The ghost is reeling, completely baffled. How is he actually touching her? A brutal struggle breaks out, but at least he can finally gasp for air. Even he is confused by the golden power surging through his hand. The demon hisses, asking why he would do that to her, before launching another desperate strike. Something inside Fang's mind screams for him to duck, and he drops low. He realizes his body is moving on its own, flexible, as a professional gymnast. The ghost tries to flee, but she slams straight into the locked door. Lily has her trapped now, and she yells for Fang to take his shot. The ghost is totally lost, confused by his sudden touch. Things turn physical fast, and finally, he starts breathing again. He's stunned by this golden power humming in his hand. But the demon screams, demanding to know why he did that. She lunges for another strike, but his mind screams at him to duck. And he barely dodges. His body moves like it's not his own, flexible, like a professional gymnast. The ghost tries to bolt, but slams right into the door. Lily traps her there, yelling at Fang to seize the moment. He needs to take his shot right now. He suddenly realizes that voice in his head. It is Lily. Did she give him this power? Doesn't matter right now. He is going to take this chance to test it out. He throws a punch, but the ghost dodges, though she looks scared. Wondering, Dan, who is this guy? I need to get out. He manages to grab her, telling her there is no escape. He is all about that gender equality. He slams her into the wall, with such force that she starts vomiting. Fang snaps, "You dared to attack me. Now I have got you. Don't even think about getting away." But here comes the move. The special attack meant to finish anyone off. She starts transforming, taking on a very interesting appearance. She leans into his ear, whispering a desperate plea. "Just let me go," she begs, "and I will do anything." Delicious. But what a softie, she even turned his ear into a C. Oh boy is actually starting to like this cutie until he feels someone staring at him. He looks up. He realizes Lily is probably going to want him dead. In broad daylight under the clear sky, he shouts, "You offer me this." Something so improper. The ghost is totally confused. It is neither day nor clear sky. But he does not stop. Don't think these methods will work. You cannot break my determination of steel. Thank goodness Lily woke me up from this illusion. Otherwise, I would have been in real trouble later. But this new ghost is unstoppable, pleading, "Brother, believe me. I promise I will not hurt you anymore." But she lunges with a burst of power, and our boy feels it. Suddenly, he cannot touch her anymore. She explains she only got close to absorb his spiritual power. She punches him, and he goes flying, laughing like the Joker. She says thanks for the power, now you have no way out. Fang is dodging and surviving, and she is getting confused. He seems to be getting faster and faster with every move. She needs to finish this right now. She summons a screen and prepares for another strike, trying to grab his face, but he catches her wrist instead. She swings again, but he just scoffs at her. "To kill me, you have to learn to do it right, woman." She is going crazy, but he strikes her again. This kid has serious talent. He has turned this into a real fight. He is practically slamming her head into the table now. She cannot defeat Fang because Lily is draining all her energy. He lifts her by the collar, demanding an answer. "Tell me, creature, why are you causing all this trouble?" Suddenly she stops and starts crying. Our guy feels awkward, totally embarrassed. He knows this looks awful on the stream. Right now, he's looking like the ultimate villain to his viewers. He drops her. She hits the ground, asks why he's being so harsh. She transforms back into a child. Fang recognizes her from online. He stares. Lion Xiang, is that really you? She nods, apologizes for attacking him. The air clears for a second. But the creator in him, totally unstoppable. He's already dreaming of how viral this mystery will make him. He starts the interrogation. How did you die? Why target me at school? Is anyone else lurking here? She claims some guy forced her to do all of it. She didn't want any of this. She was just a pawn. Fang presses harder. Who is this guy? Is he linked to her death? He's already picturing some mustache-twirling villain. Who is he? Seriously, why would someone hurt a girl like you? He hugs her, tell her not to be afraid. Big brother is here. She asks if he really means it. If so, she spill everything. He promises. She opens her mouth to talk. Then a dark power erupts on her back. She gets yanked away. Fang lunges to save her but misses. A giant demon looms over them, looking for trouble. How dare you touch my Ling Shan? You are dead. The creature winds up a punch. Fang senses the sheer power. But Lily steps in. What do you think you're doing to my husband? She throws up a barrier to shield them. No use. The impact sends them flying. He slams into a tree. Both of them are nearly out cold. He blinks, waking up in her arms. Thank God she survived. He tries to stand. Nearly slips from the tree. She catches him just in time. He glances around. They're still parked at the school entrance. We actually made it out alive. But wait, what happened to Lingshan? Lily says the thing inside is way too strong. Fang asks if she can win. She shakes her head. Her current spirit power isn't enough. She's bummed, but at least she snagged the footage. Time to grab a bite. She pulls out a Sukuna finger. Fang stares. Where did that come from? Lily smiles. When that spirit grabbed him, she grabbed this. Seeing the size of it, Fang is totally floored. How is she gonna eat all that? She just tosses it in the air, sucks in all the energy at once. And just like that, she's full. He notices something strange whenever she feeds. His exhaustion just melts away. Looks like those negative energy sources are the real deal for her. He turns to Lily, desperate for answers about what happened after he blacked out. I passed out, he asks. How did you even bring me here? Why? And was my reaction time actually that good? She starts to explain, but then the sun begins to peek over the horizon. It starts burning her skin, so she grabs him and bolts for the apartment. She is shaking, literally melting. He has to slam the windows shut fast. Once the room is pitch black, she finally lets out a sigh. She feels comfortable now, so he sets her down and starts petting her. But he worries the curtains won't block the sunlight later today. What is she going to do when it gets bright? Where will she hide? She says she will just enter his body, thanks to the contract they've formed. As long as she is inside him, there is no way she can die. Fang jumps back, totally shocked. When did I ever sign a contract with you? Lily just looks at him and asks, weren't you the one who wanted to marry me? That is our contract now, because from here on out, you and I are one. As long as you keep finding me things to eat, I will recover my energy. Our hero is just confused. What is with this talk about becoming one? She explains that if she runs dry on spiritual energy, he dies too. And obviously, if he kicks the bucket, it is game over for her as well. That explains the intense fatigue he felt when he first woke up earlier. Fang needs to know, was that extra strength I had all you? She says yes, and now he can actually tap into part of her power. Once she gets stronger, he is going to become a total powerhouse. Poor Fang looks like his brain is about to melt from information overload. Meanwhile, back at school, the little ghost is being slammed against the wall. A shadow with glowing red eyes looms over her, spitting pure venom. I sent you to kill, he hisses, but you failed and leaked my secrets instead. You should know by now, if we do not kill them, we are the ones who die. Liang Din, you are mine, and I am never letting you go. I can feel it. They will come back, and the next time, I will finish them both. I will crush them with this hand, though it is a shame about the missing finger. The scene shifts to our guy ordering ramen at a shop. The chef finds it weird because he usually only shows up right at closing time. He asks why he is here so early, but Fang just shrugs it off. Just wanted a fresh start to the day, he says, grabbing his bowl. The ramen looks incredible, and he starts wolfing it down. While he eats, he starts a mental chat with her, looking for answers. He asks what the deal is with her being so low on soul power. She explains she lost all her physical strength and now that she is a ghost, soul power is everything. He presses her on how to get it back, and she starts to explain. She explains it all as she lost every bit of her physical strength. Now that she's stuck as a ghost, she's got to have soul power to survive. He jumps right in, asking how she can get that power back. Eating cursed objects is the easiest path, but there is another way. She can actually absorb fear from others to recover her strength. Fang gets curious. She explains that for spirits, fear is essentially their life force. To keep existing as a spiritual entity, they have to haunt people. They feed off that raw, terrified energy. That is the secret to increasing their power. Our boy starts putting it together. He only managed to wake her up. It must have been the live stream, the collective fear of his viewers. That surge of terror gave her the energy she needed. Back home, he is rewatching the footage from yesterday's fight. If the live broadcast boosted her, he thinks the recorded video will too. He is genuinely impressed. The camera work was absolutely perfect. No professional cameraman could have stayed that steady under pressure. Toss in some spooky background music and those chat comments on screen. This could genuinely cause a lot of fear for anyone watching it. And that means a lot more money coming his way. Remembering how nice the director was last time, he decides to call him. He makes the call, and she just teleports right in front of him. She is smiling. He gets startled, then asks what they actually found. The entity they encountered at that school last night. She interrupts with a grin, saying it tasted something very delicious. Fang wonders if she can handle it. Maybe they can turn this into a series. They could keep the channel growing. Plus save poor Liang Sing. He is still trapped there after all. But she shakes her head. She cannot do it without finding her hairpin. Fang asks if she has managed to remember anything at all. She says after eating all that stuff, her memory is clearing up. It is near her tomb, but she cannot be entirely sure. Then she puts on this pathetic, crying face. Please, husband, help me. It is incredibly important. Our boy is becoming quite the player. He smiles back, saying since we are now one entity, of course, I am going to help you out. But he presses her, if we find it, can you actually beat that creature? She nods confidently, saying with the hairpin, she can devour everything. Then Fang hits a wall, asking how they are supposed to find it. He has no clue what it looks like or where to even start. She explains that thieves robbed her tomb, so she went after them. She managed to terrify 2 of them until they completely lost their minds. A third one escaped, though she has no idea how he did it. It is a safe bet that the hairpin is in his possession. But that was 6 months ago. Fang sighs, noting that is a long time to keep a trail cold. That guy could be literally anywhere in the world by now. She disagrees, saying that is not the case at all. Since absorbing yesterday, she senses it is close, she just doesn't know where. He nails down the location right in the city and says perfect. Lead the way, we find that hairpin, then we bounce. Straight back to school to wrap it all up and film. She agrees, adding that there will be plenty of food that way. Our guy checks the internet and spots something weird. Some person keeps visiting her tomb over and over. Just then, a message pops up. He thinks it is from Director Wang. It is actually a police alert warning about attacks in the Haitian region. They say stay inside at night and never go out alone. Our guy finds it strange. The police have been spamming these alerts. Something different is going on, and he knows it. Back with the crew that helped him record earlier. They are wiped out, no work lately, and it is hitting them hard. One guy suggests it would be great if Fang tossed them another gig. Another snaps back. Did you forget we almost died last time? Be grateful he is not asking for anything else, he yells. The shaggy-haired guy asks if they should just quit this company. The director is decent, but there is never any actual work. But right then, the director swings the door open. Work is coming, kids. Everyone instantly pretends they have been busy the whole time. They ask about the job, and he bangs his hand on the desk. Check the group chat. The gig is for Mr. Fang again. The guys freak out. Tell us we are not hitting another cemetery, boss. Seriously, our lives matter more than a paycheck. The boss tells them to chill. It is just video editing. He is offering $1,000 plus a cut of the profits if it blows up. They pull up the footage to take a look. Well, he filmed another supernatural stunt. This guy is totally unhinged. Unless he is actually finding real ghosts, it will just be another dead. The internet is already drowning in mediocre ghost videos. One kid adds that he just got lucky last time. Really lucky to make it out in one piece, but going viral, impossible. Director Delmo brother scoffs. They have no idea what they are looking at. This one is even better. It is their ticket to the big leagues. Our studio is finally going to reclaim its glory. The guys keep watching our protagonist record his intro. Suddenly, the room goes dead quiet. Everyone starts sweating. Why is that candle just floating there in the frame? It is almost choking our friend out of pure, raw anxiety. She says this one turned out even better. It is our pot of gold. Our studio will finally return to its former glory this time around. Meanwhile, the guys are watching our protagonist still struggling through the intro. But then, they start getting nervous, wondering why things feel so off. That calm air is just floating there. It is almost choking our friend out. Pure anxiety is starting to take over the whole room. They watch eyes wide as our main character drags that ghost right off the table. Utterly confused. What in the hell is this? This just isn't possible. Did he hire some massive 3D production team to pull this off? There has to be a mechanism under the table, something strange going on. The director chimes in. I thought exactly the same thing at first. But after 10 years of production and editing experience, I checked. I went through it image by image, frame by frame, and found nothing. A little while later, they finally finish watching the footage. The director admits he has watched it several times, and it still terrifies him. The kid pulls at the director, asking how Ling Xiang actually died. Who is behind all this? Is this story really linked to the case from 10 years ago? The director pulls out a file of papers and gives a grim response. Oh, I looked up the news from 10 years ago, he says. The girl in this video is identical to the victim from that old case. If this video shocks us, people who actually understand editing, imagine the public. It is certain to go viral, and we are going to get a massive share of the profits. Now we are talking about making real money. Everyone is suddenly motivated. 4 hours pass as they work, fueled by the promise of a big payday. They title it The Terror of Ghost School High Yuan Primary School. The real event of the girl from 10 years ago, they call it. The scoundrel is acting all proud of their work. They add catchy titles, moody background music, and polish the audio. Everything is tuned to make the final product as hauntingly terrifying as possible. The boy asks if the director wants one final look before they release it, but he declines, telling them to send it over immediately so he can post it. The boy asks if it would not be better to send it to Mr. Fang first, but the director insists it is not necessary. Mr. Fang told us he trusts our judgment, so I will just post it directly. The scene shifts to a different company office across town. An old man sits browsing the internet when the video suddenly appears on his feed. He stops, brow furrowed, wondering what on earth he is looking at. Another video about the girl who disappeared 10 years ago. Just another horror adventure. He mutters to himself. Nowadays, there is so much trash like this online. Let me take a quick look, he says, but then he freezes. When he sees the giant monster on screen, he's so startled by the sudden jump. He jumps up, accidentally spilling his hot coffee all over his pants. Staring at the screen, he thinks to himself, "This video is actually too good." He immediately calls everyone in the office over to take a look. His staff looks surprised by his sudden, manic excitement. "We haven't seen you this fired up in a long time," one says. He just points at the screen, telling them they will understand once they see it. And one by one, everyone starts watching the screen. They are apprehensive, deeply interested, but when it finally ends, everyone feels the exact same way. They are hooked, and they want more. The boy asks his boss, "This footage is honestly bizarre. The quality, the stability, the effects. How can someone pull this off with just a smartphone? Moreover, he's filming on site. This is the kind of professional polish usually reserved for cinema. Where is he getting all this investment from?" The director admits he doesn't know, but says it's not simple. "Something's off. We need to track down the mastermind pulling all the strings here." Meanwhile, our hero heads home, mulling over the clues she mentioned. 6 months ago, witnesses spotted people near the princess's tomb. They were strange, acting like they were hunting for something buried in that place. Locals called the cops, who managed to snag 2 suspects, but the third one vanished. Turns out, all 3 had a history of tomb raiding. Inside jail, the 2 arrested guys started having a total breakdown. They went completely insane. It's like they saw something terrifyingly beyond reason. In the end, the police just blamed their condition on mental stress and booked them for stealing cultural relics. But the whole thing smells fishy. The police found no signs of forced entry at the tomb, and the only witnesses who knew the truth had already gone mad. Is there a secret tunnel? Where is it? And who was that third person? It remains a complete mystery. If that thief really managed to steal your hairpin, they are definitely not normal, walking through the city like that. He asks, "Are you sure your hairpin is in this direction?" She leaves his body and says yes. "We are getting close." Our guy tells her to get back inside, stay out of sight, while they're in the middle of the street, especially when it's empty. "I'll handle this." Our boy then notices something strange. It's not even dark yet, but the streets are deserted. Is it because of the police investigation? Lily guides him, pointing the way forward. They reach an alley blocked off by police tape. A crowd is gathered around a body. Completely dehydrated people are whispering, saying the death looks scary and the whole event is incredibly suspicious. Even Officer John is on the scene. John asks, "What do you make of this case, Chow?" Fang is approaching. Everyone is terrified by the dried-up corpse. It's not normal. This is the third body showing up just like this, and police numbers are dropping fast. The city's losing officers left and right. John spots our young protagonist arriving right as the officer speaks up. The guy claims the victim died around 3 in the morning. No physical signs on the corpse, not a single trace of an attack anywhere. Nothing. Even weirder, the killer clearly knows where every single camera is positioned. We've found absolutely nothing suspicious on the footage, just like the last 2 cases. They're calling it heart failure, but that's the part that just doesn't add up. All the past victims were perfectly healthy, no history of heart issues whatsoever. It makes no sense. John asks for his take, and the officer admits he thinks these are serial murders. Random, aimless, without any clear motive. Whoever did this knew exactly how to dodge the cameras, maybe even used some secret toxin. John shakes his head. No poison found in the previous victims either. No drugs, no toxins, nothing. Just look at the state of this corpse, completely dried up. That is physically impossible for a natural death that happened only hours ago. We have to think harder. There has to be another explanation. The officer is stumped. Flat out says he can't think of anything else. It's almost as if the killer were a literal ghost. John puts a hand on his shoulder, keeping it steady. Like Sherlock always said, eliminate the impossible. Whatever remains, however improbable, has to be the truth. Let's move. We've already warned everyone to stay inside after dark. The other departments can handle the rest of this mess. As they walk, he catches Fang slipping away into the shadows. This world, it's a lot stranger than you'd ever guess. Night falls, and we see a guy lighting a single candle. He pulls out that brooch, making an offering, whispering, "Lord, it's time." The Big Mac eater crawls onto the wall, licking its lips. It asks if it's finally time to hunt again, and the guy just nods. They can move out the second he gives the word. The chubby one grins, saying among the three, he really was the best pick. The boy plays it cool. He just got lucky. The demon laughs, promising that with its power, the police won't ever track them. With this invincible weapon in his grasp, even a level for evil spirit is easy prey. By the time those soul hunters show up, they'll have evolved and vanished. Time for the hunt. Back at the base, our guy grabs some water while talking to Lily. He asks if she's picking up anything on the radar. Lily frowns, staring into the dark. The aura's getting vague. It's fading. Something is definitely changing out there. She explains that the energy drained from that body was massive. Whoever pulled it off must be using her hairpin to fuel it. She points her shoulder, tracking the trail. She feels it, the killer is close, right in this area. Fang asks who among the crowd it could possibly be. She isn't sure, but it is definitely someone in that group. Our hero takes off, howling back to the waiter, "Keep the change." The waiter stares at the empty glass. Damn it, he sat here all day, bought one water, and just left. Meanwhile, our guy steps straight into the club. The catch is, the ghost can't actually pin down who the culprit is. Suddenly, a girl approaches while he's busy talking to Lily. He tells Lily they will circle around until she senses an energy spike. But this girl has already latched onto him. "Hey cutie," she purrs, "want to grab a drink?" He looks totally lost, but she keeps pushing. She says after a drink, they can find somewhere more private, somewhere to talk about life, or maybe start a brand new one. Our hero says no and tries to push her off. She just insists, laughing, "Let us have some fun, little brother. You are still so young, after all." She definitely has fun to offer, but Lily pinches him hard. He flinches and accidentally shoves the girl away. She goes flying, landing hard, a truly brutal fall. And I am not just stalling here. The impact was rough. The entire bar goes silent as everyone watches her tumble. A group of gang members steps up, looking for a fight. "Hey kid," they growl, causing trouble in our territory. Fang tries to explain it was all just a total misunderstanding. They don't care, calling him arrogant and way out of his league. They say he needs to learn his place the hard way. One guy grabs his shoulder, but Fang just tightens his fist. With one sharp motion, he slams the guy down. He hits the hard floor with a sickening thud. Another guy claps, mocking him. "You have skills, kid." But this is not the place for that kind of attitude. Lily whispers that these guys look dangerous. Let her handle them. Fang thinks it is better to avoid a total bloodbath. Besides, he really does not want to end up in a jail cell. Two more thugs rush him from behind to land a cheap shot. Suddenly, the scene shifts to a drunk, chubby guy. He stumbles down an alley, grumbling about his failing business. He just wants to get home. Drinking is his only escape. He trips, falling right into someone's arms. "Thanks, kid," he mumbles, just trying to make it home. But that Big Mac eater's friend cuts in, sounding almost disappointed. He tells him it's a shame, but he won't get that chance. He tosses a brooch into his hand and whispers right by his ear, "Just go. Get straight down the alley. If you hold a straight line, you'll reach your home." As the guy walks away, he mutters to himself in pure disbelief. He keeps moving forward, but the devil is already closing in behind him. They hit the wall, and the demon's hands latch onto him tight. Black energy starts pouring out of the stone like a living shadow.